Good evening and welcome to the Lopatcong Township Planning Board meeting of January 2015. This is our reorganization and regular meeting. At this time, I'd like to ask you to join us in a silent moment of prayer, followed immediately by the oath of allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'm required to state that this meeting has been approved, provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, and by advertising a notice in the Star Gazette and the Express Times, and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Beth, may I have a roll call, please?
Members Belcaro, Clymer, Dagan,
Here.
Fishback,
Here.
France,
Here.
Burrell,
Here.
Hall,
Here.
Liptak,
Here.
Mayor McKay,
Here.
Pryor,
Here.
Chairman Bentley.
Here. At this time, we are going to appoint and swear in the newly appointed members to the commission, or the board, I'm sorry. We have Mayor McKay, Class 1 for a one-year term. Is that correct, Mayor? I mean, he's entitled to a 3-year.
He is entitled to a 3-year. He did appoint himself for a 1-year, but if you'd like that, it's 3-year.
No, 1 year is fine. I may appoint someone else next year.
Okay. Wayne Dagan for Class 2 membership for a 1-year term. Lou Belcaro, Class 3 for a 1-year term. And Mark Garral for a Class 4 member for a 4-year term. And an alternate will be second alternate, Douglas Liptak for a 2-year term. Sorry about the mispronunciation. Would you all just
please stand?
Stand.
You have your oath in front of you. If you want to pick it up. Okay, you're going to say I, say your name, and we'll just say it in a group. I
Tom McKay,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and the
States,
Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
and the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
faithfully,
partially, and justly perform
justly perform
all the duties of the Office of Planning Board
all the duties of the Office of Planning Board
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Okay. Now, on the right-hand side, you'll see 2 lines, your address. If you would just fill in your address and sign the oath, and then I'll take it from you.
Congratulations to all the new members of the planning board. At this time, we will proceed to the election of officers. The 2 positions available are chairman and vice chairman. I'll open nominations for chairman. Mr. Hall.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Graham Lee as chairman.
I'll second that.
Any further nominations? Nominations will be closed. Next office will be for office of vice chairman. Don't hear any nominations. Mr. Hall.
I'd like to nominate Joe Pryor.
I'll second that. Any further nominations? Hearing and seeing none, nominations will be closed. We'll proceed to vote collectively for the 2 offices.
Okay. Member Belcaro?
Yes.
Dagan?
Yes.
Fishback?
Yes.
France?
Yes.
Burrell? Hall?
Yes.
Liptak?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes.
Pryor?
Yes.
Chairman Bentley.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you to the board for your confidence in me. Probably not.
I haven't done anything yet, but thank you just a second.
Next order of business will be appointment of professionals. Looking at resolution number 15-02 to appoint an attorney for the planning board. We have Mr. Anthony J. Spizzaro has applied for the position. He was vetted a month or so ago, and we had one that came in yesterday, it looks like, here for Jonathan E. Drill, application for the planning board attorney. I would like to nominate Mr. Spizzaro for the planning board attorney. He comes in with the lowest payment schedule, and we haven't had time to really look at Mr. Drill, so I would think that he was a little late with his application, so. Yesterday. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Wayne, you seconded it?
Yeah.
Roll call.
Discussion? Discussion?
Okay.
It's the same girl of Greenwich?
I don't know.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
yes, it is.
Okay, they're suing us, right? It's part of the lawsuit against us?
I believe so.
Okay. Plus his hourly rate is significantly higher than
Yes.
what's been admitted. And given the fact he's been an attorney that was there for a number of years, and didn't get to do anything to close down their asphalt, right? I don't think he'd do anything here to help our cause, so I.
I hear rate come up, and I made my living as a professional serving boards. I don't give a whole lot of weight. A lower hourly rate is not necessarily the best value. Professional services aren't a commodity. Nonetheless, I've had the opportunity to work with Mr. Spizzaro when I did some work for the township. Worked on a couple things together, and I evaluated the applications on that basis. So I'd like to support Mr. Spizzaro's appointment on that basis.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Board members?
Was there a advertisement for this opening?
We did advertise. Did we advertise that for the openings?
Actually, it didn't qualify under the pay-to-play law, the fair and open process that we went through at the end of the year. And we had an attorney in place until just a little while ago when he, called me and said he no longer would, be the board attorney. Mr. Spizzaro sent his paperwork in over a month ago, just as a matter of interest, and so that's how that came about.
He's also our Board of Adjustment attorney now?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Further discussion?
I guess I would have liked to see more, an advertisement, more people apply. Get a better mix, better group to select from. I was unaware that you were looking for an attorney. I guess the attorney quit. The old attorney, he left suddenly. Is that what you said about the?
Yes.
If you saw him, yes.
He just called me out of the blue and said he would no longer be representing the board.
Did he state a reason?
No, he just wasn't interested. I think, he wasn't appointed for the Board of Adjustment. Maybe it wasn't worth it. I don't know. He didn't give me a reason.
My comment then would be that I like to see for all the positions more advertising, more applicants.
Okay.
Didn't happen.
Further discussion?
Do we have any record of the number of hours that were billed last year?
Number of hours billed?
No, I don't have a record of that with me tonight.
Is it possible that I see Spizzaro put here 150 an hour and then 250? Are we allowed to talk about this?
Sure.
Okay. And then 250 flat fee, and then Phil came in at 165 an hour, but he didn't include a flat fee. Should we go out to Drill and ask if he'd offer a flat fee per meeting?
This is his proposal to us. We don't need to negotiate.
I would say if we don't appoint the tower, then we go to
Well, I've got a motion nominating Mr. Spizzaro.
You have a
We have a
second?
second. Have a roll call vote, please.
Yes, members Belcaro,
Not for me, I'd like to maybe table this. If we can. You vote no. Hasn't Spizzaro been the planning board?
yes, he did. He represented the planning board 2000 to 2008, am I right? Or
Okay.
close?
So you must have, but so you understand the representative planning board. Okay. All right, then well, yes.
Dagan,
Yes.
Fishback,
Abstain.
France,
Yeah.
Corral,
I'd like to see an RFP go out on the system.
Paul,
Yeah.
Liptak,
Abstain.
Mayor McKay,
Abstain.
Pryor,
Yes.
and Chairman Van Zyl.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Okay. Would you care to join us?
You can run now, Tony.
Next resolution is 1503, to appoint George Ritter as the planner. He is the only person that indicated interest in the position.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, do I hear a second? Discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, say that, please.
Members Belcaro,
Yes.
Dagan,
Yes.
Fishback,
Yes.
France,
Yes.
Corral,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Liptak,
Yes.
McKay,
Yes.
Mayor McKay, Pryor,
Yes.
and Chairman Van Zyl.
Yes. Next appointment concerns resolution number 15-04, to appoint Paul Sturbins as the engineer. Do I hear a motion? Second?
Who made the first?
Bruce Hall, right? And Wayne seconded it.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, roll call vote, please, Beth.
Members Belcaro,
Yes.
Dagan,
Yes.
Fishback,
Yes.
France,
Yes.
Corral, Paul,
Yes.
Liptak,
Yes.
Mayor McKay,
Yes.
Pryor,
Yes.
Chairman Van Zyl.
Yes. Thank you and congratulations on all the appointees. Okay, and we're here to approve all contracts for the year 2015. Do you have anything on those, Beth?
Pardon me?
The contracts for 2015, do you have any,
Actually, I'd like to hold that,
Okay.
and vote on it the next time, so I can get, a formal contract from, our new attorney. And, Paul, I think he sent yours.
submitted mine.
Yeah.
okay,
And of
So
course,
we'll-
George, I didn't get one from George yet, too, so. I'd like
okay,
to
we'll hold off on that
back,
to the next
please.
meeting then. Then we come to a resolution 1501 to approve the annual meeting calendar, the official newspapers, the Star Gazette, and the Express Times. I think you both all got a copy of the meeting schedule. Any questions on that? Yes.
The last, or maybe not the last town council meeting, but one prior, there was discussion about the newspapers and that they were changing and they were covering different areas and different districts and all. Is that going to affect the same thing here as far as coverage?
We didn't change the
They
newspaper.
didn't change the newspaper.
They didn't change. Okay.
Maybe the
It's
mayor,
Gazette and the
you
Express.
indicated it was too expensive at the last meeting to change the paper.
If you go up to something like this,
Yeah,
Wait.
that's what I figured. Yeah, okay.
So I don't think it's going to affect the town, the official town newspapers. So. And I believe the Board of Adjustment went with them, we'll go with them too. Okay, any further discussion on those? I'll entertain a motion to accept that resolution.
So made.
Second? Discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, Beth, please.
Members Belcaro,
Yes.
Fagan,
Yes.
Fishback,
Yes.
France,
Yes.
Corral,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Liptak,
Yes.
Mayor McKay,
Yes.
Pryor,
Yes.
Chairman Bentley.
Yes. Last one is a resolution 15-05 to adopt Robert's Rules of Orders as a basic guide for fair and orderly procedure in the meetings. Do I hear a motion to accept that? Second? Discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote, Beth, please.
Members Belcaro,
Yes.
Fagan,
Yes.
Fishback,
Yes.
France,
Yes.
Corral, Paul,
Yes.
Liptak,
Yes.
Mayor McKay,
Yes.
Pryor,
Yes.
Chairman Bentley.
Yes. That's it for the business. We'll move on to old business. The old business is to approve the minutes of the July 23rd, 2014 Planning Board meeting. Has everyone had a chance to read those minutes?
Chairman, I have one other matter of new business, just a clarification.
We'll be moving on to new business right after the old business.
Okay. Yeah,
Is there a discussion on the minutes? Anybody have any additions or corrections?
I have not read the July.
No, you can't vote on
You
it.
got to abstain anyway. You weren't a member at the point, at that point.
Were they the last minutes?
They were the last minutes.
Yeah.
Hearing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Okay. I'll call the members that were on the board last year. Belcaro, Dagan, Fishback,
Yes.
France,
Yes.
Paul,
Yeah.
Pryor,
Yes.
and Chairman Bentley.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I have one other
Yes.
business item. Just wanted to apprise the board on if it's permissible.
Sure.
I just wanted to let the board know something about 189 Strikers Road LLC, which if you're not aware is the site of the proposed asphalt plant. As you may be aware, the resolution or the conditions in the resolution have not been addressed by that applicant. And as a result of that, this is technically still a planning board matter. The applicant has a responsibility of addressing those conditions before they're able to go to construction. On behalf of the board, I'm, looking at the resolution, making sure that the applicant is addressing those conditions in the resolution. The applicant recently contacted me to discuss the resolution and where they stand on the resolution. In fact, I had a meeting with a representative of 189 Strikers Road LLC to discuss the resolution. I pointed out various conditions that have not been addressed that they would need to address to be able to perfect the approval and move to construction. There's quite a bit of work, has to do with the site plan, as well as a number of administrative conditions, including some that would involve the Township Council, specifically a developer's agreement. So I had this meeting. I indicated based on some review I had done before the meeting what needed to be done. Where they go at this point with all that information, I don't know, but I just want to advise the board that this particular meeting occurred and I did provide that information to them. And if they do decide to file plans, at a later meeting, I'll let you know that plans came in and there's an effort going to try to perfect the approval. So I didn't hear an indication of that they were looking to do that. I think they were trying to get a status from me as to where they stand with the resolution and what items are outstanding at this point. So I'll keep the board posted if this thing were to move any further forward at this point.
Paul, are there any time deadlines that they're in jeopardy of going past to cut their application? It's not
Whenever approval is granted, you get a certain period of time, depending on the application, where you have protections against zoning changes and changes in regulations. In this particular case, the applicant requested preliminary and final major site plan approval. The final major site plan approval grants a 2-year period of protection against changes in ordinances and regulations. So that would theoretically, putting aside the litigation, theoretically, that would have taken the final site plan approval protections until somewhere, I think it was May of 2014. The resolution, I think, was adopted in May of 2012, if I'm not mistaken. The applicant always has the ability with a final site plan approval to request extensions. Under the law, they're allowed 3 one-year extensions that theoretically could take it out another 3 years. The one thing that clouds it right now is we have litigation. I think I'm going to turn over to Anthony Spasaro at this point, because I believe under the law, if you have utility moratorium litigation, that then they freeze that period of time and it doesn't start up again. That clock doesn't start ticking until that's all resolved. And I've seen that particularly with utility moratorium. Anthony, maybe just you can take over and discuss this with the board.
I've not seen the paperwork on the litigation or this resolution, so I'd rather withhold any comment rather than just shooting from the hip. But I think Paul's generally correct. If there is a moratorium on sewer connections under the Land Use Act, there is a period of protection that is extended as a result of that. So, but before next meeting, I will ask Beth, and I'm sure she'll provide me with a copy of the resolution together with copies of the paperwork and litigation, so I can get up to speed and advise the board.
Okay.
Paul,
Yes.
we're not talking about a moratorium for sewer here.
I just threw it out as an
Oh, as an
example, as
example.
one possible factor that would freeze the clock. I know in this instance, it's litigation specifically.
Certain types of litigation and certain utility type.
Correct.
Okay. The protection, you say, probably ended around May of 2014, notwithstanding any litigation. Did they put in to extend that 1 year?
No,
No, so they're technically past that, unless the litigation protects and gives them additional time. Correct?
correct. Yeah, they didn't request a 1-year extension. And I guess under normal circumstances, if you didn't have this litigation, that could be a problem. They would have lost their protection if the municipality were to have promulgated changes in the ordinance. Tony's going to look at the litigation and see if the clock stopped.
I'd also be surprised if they don't raise that issue in the context of the litigation, rather than come back here and if they're not granted an extension, have to go back to the court. I think my sight unseen, my suspicion, strong suspicion is that they'll raise that issue with the court in the event they're successful with the litigation and ask the court to address that issue then and there.
Well, they were successful, it's now into appeal. Yes, it's
Yes.
out of the trial courts. It's in the court. Well, the resolution that we're talking about, this is the one that has all the conditions that if this plant gets built, all these conditions have to be met. I think there are 30-something conditions.
Correct.
So it's in our best interest to make sure that we stay on top of that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it, so. I'm sure they're all
One
met
other
if this
question.
thing moves forward.
If this board were to want to make it certain that no other asphalt type companies or businesses operate in this township, what would it have to do? Is my question.
That would probably be our
I mean-
attorney.
What?
Our attorney would have to advise us on that.
Well, I mean, we were told some time ago before I was mayor that indeed was what was going to happen. And that never happened.
Who told you that?
That's what people said, but we weren't allowed to comment because we're in litigation with it. But there was never an assumption that that's what the plan was. The plan was to bring this issue and that the board would review the legal binding status of it. We haven't been able to do that because of the litigation, which is now over. No, it's in final appeal, so we gotta wait. The longer this thing drags on. That I'd like, less we can, you know. Do you stop the wait if it's in appeal, or is it when trial litigation stops?
Again, I haven't seen the litigation, but I don't think the litigation prevents this board from making a recommendation to the governing body, nor do I think it prevents the governing body, if it chooses to consider on its own amending your zoning ordinance to either tighten controls over this type of use or to prohibit it outright. I don't think there's anything in the litigation that prevents that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, on the new business? You said you had new business now?
Oh, Mr. Liptak was just appointed as an alternate. And I think I heard alternate 2. But I believe he's alternate 1.
I believe Mr.
Clarification.
Oh.
By whom? Only the mayor can do that.
The mayor.
And it happened this year, so I was the mayor and I didn't do it, so.
No, it happened, Lisa Nash left. Lisa Nash left last year, and that's when it was done.
I find no evidence of it in the,
It's in the meeting minutes, yeah.
not here, has to be in the council's meeting.
No, it doesn't. I don't find an example of this.
Yours doesn't in there either.
It's nothing, there's nothing in there about my appointments, but yet it was official. Because the mayor has that right, as you know, to appoint at his discretion.
Right.
And that's what happened here.
But I have documents, many documents that show Mr. Fishback is number 1, he's number 2, he's number 1. I don't know what he is. And there's no offense, nothing. I'm just trying to do the right
All I can
thing.
tell you is I remember last year my name being read at a council meeting and the council voting and one council person actually just objecting. I know that. So
Okay.
they should.
What I see is all different
it should
things.
be,
And
yeah.
I'm
That's
still
all
working
that's all I,
with
you know,
the council.
1, 2.
On this issue, but I think you are considered alternate number 2.
No. It was moved up to alternate. Lisa Nash, I was moved to class 4. Lisa Nash was moved to alternate 1. Tom was then appointed as alternate 2. At that point, Lisa left. Tom was moved up to alternate number 1.
By the mayor.
Yeah.
By the mayor?
Yes. Absolutely. He's the only one that can do it. He's the one that tells Beth to get it on the agenda.
Well, I have so many conflicting documents, I don't know how to deal with that, but I'm still working with council in the township to see what we can do with that.
Oh, if you want, just reappoint Mr. Fishback.
No, I might want to do that, or I might want to appoint someone else.
Someone else,
Well, now we have a conflict we're going to be coming into. You determined that he didn't do it or wasn't sworn in, and we vote on something, and his vote counts, and that passes it.
That's what
Where
I'm
do
worried
you want to
about
go now?
That's what I'm worried about. That's why, when I have documents that tell me one thing and when I hear other things, I don't know where to go. But I'll just leave it there for now. I'm awaiting final word from Mr. Lavery as to whether he thinks it's appropriate for what happened.
So noted. All right, further new business, we have the Phillipsburg Mall, Block 102, Lot 9-01, request for an extension of the time to perfect minor subdivision. Paul, do you have any information on that?
This was an approval that was granted by the board at this meeting, I think it was on January 22nd, 2014. Was that the date of the approval, or was that the date of the resolution?
I didn't check that.
Yeah. I think let's take that as the date of the resolution. The
Okay.
190-day period of protection would expire on July 31st.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in, right now they've perfected the approval, the plans have been approved, the deeds have been approved, but we can't sign them until there's an extension of time that would be retroactive to August 1st. So that's what the board needs to do. They need to grant another 190 days extension, which would increase, or I guess, take the period of protection up to February 6th, which will allow the applicant to record the deeds next week. And just so the board's aware, this is a minor subdivision that created a lot line around the Friendly's restaurant. There's no construction associated with this application at all. So it was just a matter of creating an out parcel on the highway around the Friendly's. Actually, everybody thought there was a lot line, but there was some research done that a deed apparently was not recorded about, I think it was about 20 years ago, to actually create the lot. So this subdivision actually created a lot that supposedly had been created about 20 years ago. And again, it's around the Friendly's. So
Okay.
I'm recommending that you grant the 190-day extension so that this applicant can record the deeds next week.
Okay.
So move.
Do I hear a second? Discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote, please.
Members Del Caro?
Yes.
Dagan?
Yes.
Fishback?
Yes.
France?
Yes.
Corral? Paul?
Yes.
Liptak?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes.
Fryer?
Yes.
Chairman Bender?
Yes. Okay, that's the completion of the new business. Any public comment?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to welcome Mr. Sparrow back. He was an excellent attorney when I was on the board, 17 years and 15 years as vice chair. I'm glad to see Mr. Sturban back and Mr. Ritter appointed also. You guys got a really good team there, I can tell you that much.
Olszewski, Highlands Way. I would very much prefer if we had accurate records of who is appointed when and by who. I doubt that the mayor calling somebody in the dead of night at home and not appointing somebody in a public setting that is in any way legal. I know Mr. Hall very much likes to have the lobbying followed. Then why don't you guys do it? All right?
We don't do the appointments.
Yeah.
You're talking to the wrong people
But
here.
you have to make sure that the appointments are accurate.
I don't.
Who does?
The mayor.
Okay. And the clerk?
No, the mayor.
Okay. So somebody has to, that was Mayor Steiner then in the past, somebody has to make sure that the appointments are accurate. And I don't believe that somebody calling somebody at home or sending an email saying your appointment, that is how it goes. I also believe that alternates are not automatically moved up. I think that is probably false.
It's not-
Alternates, they alternates, and if I believe it is, if a normal planning board member is not willing to do it anymore, the alternate is not just moving up, they need to be properly appointed.
Correct.
They are
and-
properly appointed.
and-
For my personal situation, I went from a alternate 2 to alternate 1. When Ann Coyle resigned, I was appointed by the mayor to take her position.
There's no record of it, please.
Yes, there was, okay. And then, because of my circumstance, my term expired December, because I was not reappointed on the zoning board. And as a result of that, because I'm a member of the school board, my term automatically expired on the planning board. I was not aware I was not reappointed on the zoning board until the day after the council meeting. That's when I contacted the planning board secretary and said, we have a situation here. My term expired. I would like to be reappointed. Can you contact the mayor and see if he would reappoint me? Apparently you contacted him. He said the correspondence I had showed that he said yes, and he appointed me.
He said, yes, where? You don't think that should be something that needs to be done in a public setting?
No,
No.
it doesn't.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the planning board, unlike the zoning board where it has to be brought before the council to approve on, the planning board, for some reason, doesn't have by council vote. So the mayor can do it at his discretion.
Okay.
That's the law.
All right.
Maybe we should change the law so that the planning board is more in line with the zoning board.
It's just like we have a whole bunch of members here, we don't know when and what, and
I don't know who you're talking to, but we have a pretty clear understanding of whose term expires when.
Okay.
And apparently, people aren't asking the right people, or they're believing innuendos instead of looking at the hard facts.
Thanks.
Further discussion? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.